I always say to someone, a solid client connection to me is someone that you have their details, you know who they are, you've got their mobile, you've got their email, and they've got a property to sell. Right?
But most importantly, they know who you are when you call them.
Absolutely, yeah. So when you do call them,
they've got to know who you are.
Whether they've got you on speed dial or not, saved in their contacts, when they say, hi, it's Manos from EV Real Estate, they know who you are, right? Because if they go, who? Then you're in trouble. Then you're going to be in trouble. Like you don't have that client engagement strategy down pat. And that's what I call an established client. An established client.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And your number is?
Because I'm off the server, because Zoom doesn't work on the server, I can't get it for you. Connie, can you just do a find of golds and silvers and referrers for me, please?
It'll be a good number to reference. Gold, silver.
Just mine ownership, please.
And hello, everyone. If anyone wants to have their camera on, by all means do so.
Yeah, we want to see your pretty faces.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always better to be interacting with people with cameras.
I'm deliberately hiding mine because I'm going to try and do a workout while I'm listening at the same time, and I'm not sure you want to witness that.
We do. We want to see that.
Don't think so, Julie.
That's gold.
Multitasking. It's time to get healthier this year with the heart issues and the kidney issues.
That's on my notes. You can't give from an empty cup. You've got to look after yourself first.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the goal for this year, or one of the goals.
Good.
Fantastic. Well done, Vicky. And hi, Jess. Congratulations, Jess. On so many aspects. That's such good news. What we saw on social media yesterday. Congratulations. Really happy for you.
Thank you. We are due July.
July. Fantastic.
Yep.
That's gorgeous.
One way to grow the tribe.
Absolutely.
That's what I said. I was like, oh, Protein Weights and Co. I love it.
Yeah. That's it. I love it. And Steve, congratulations on your launch this week as well.
Thank you. Yeah, very exciting. Lots going on, lots of work, but yeah, had some really good feedback from people from all over the place. You know how it looks, the brand, the feel. And the guys in the team have been really awesome. Support-wise has been fantastic. So really looking forward to a big year.
Fantastic. I expect 5 listings by next week, couple of sales. No pressure.
Well, I'm on the way.
Love it. Well, welcome everyone. How are we? We've clocked on to 11:30, so this is where everyone starts to come through. We'll get the latecomers in a few moments, but Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Hello, beautiful.
Hi. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. So good to see you all online.
Yes, it is. It's great to see everyone. And of course, straight back into it. I know a lot of people don't come back until next week for 2025. The committed are here though, aren't they?
Yeah.
The ones that are ready to smash it out in 2025. And as I've been saying on a number of social posts, you know, it's 2025, let's go. And everything that we do today will have that impact of what we do, how we finish the year as well. And look, I'm going to share my screen straight away and we'll get straight into it. George, can we allow me to share, please? Oh, I've got it. All good. Fantastic. Okay. We'll set it all up now and we'll get going because I know we've got a special guest here today, guys. We've got Julie Ormston from WA, one of our team members joining us, and she'll be taking the first half hour of the session. She does have to fly. She's got an appointment that she needs to get to in the next 45 minutes, but I'm going to get straight into it and hopefully wrap up a little bit earlier as well today. But first of all, Happy New Year, as I said earlier before. Super excited about the year ahead for everyone and the foundations that everyone really has started to build, especially from the last few sessions. I've had a lot of people reach out, especially from the business planning sessions that we did at the end of last year. And this period is all about the setup. And it's all about making sure that you've got your prospecting in place, you've got your commitments in place, you've got your goals in place, more so than ever. But as we go into it, just acknowledge our
looks a bit light.
industry partners. Let's go. Here we go. Just to acknowledge our industry partners. We can't be doing Black Salt without these guys' support. So a big shout out. And of course, there's a lot more involvement with our industry partners throughout the year. Some special guests will be coming in, and they'll also be sharing some new initiatives that will be happening throughout the program. Today's session is our seventh virtual session, which is the client engagement roadmap. We finished off last year with setting up for a massive 2025. We had a sensational session of incredible buyer work. I'm hoping everyone, if you weren't able to attend these sessions, that you actually got into the portal and obviously have access to it. So we've got all the Black Salt 2024 and the 25 sessions are now in. George, give me the thumbs up that they're all there. The workbooks are there.
Yep, workbooks are there, and everything's loaded in Black Salt 25 conference.
Fantastic. And if anyone has any challenges, get into the portal, email George. George, stick your email in the chat box so they can reach out to you direct to make sure that they've got access to all the recordings. And can I just say, team, Black Salt 2025 in December was absolutely phenomenal, as was 24. Some amazing content. So please go back. And I'm really hoping everyone's been going through the workbooks, because the workbooks were second to none throughout the whole, the feedback we got for the workbooks are incredible. If you don't have a copy, you can download those now, right? So they're in the portal, download those. Today we'll be working from the sales agent framework, a few pages out of that one. And of course, we've got the Excel workbook, 28-day system planner, and 2025 yearly prospecting schedule. Right, I'm going to go straight into it. Let's go, because I'm conscious that Julie will be leaving us in 30 minutes, and I want to make sure that she shares her gold. Okay, as we said, today, talking about the client engagement roadmap. Our session insights are going to be the Julie Ormston way, our drops diary, don't fall for the loyalty trap, data equals GCI, the essential details that we need to obtain from our clients, and the client engagement roadmap. So I'm going to go straight into it. I'm going to introduce this beautiful young lady, Julie Ormston, who her property report card, 71.71 million in transactions last year, $931,300 was her average sale price, 77 sales, 1.318 million GCI, multiple year $1 million performer, multiple year REWA. Talk to me, Julie.
Yeah, I dropped last year. They changed the awards, so I dropped back down to master. And to be honest, I won't be able to be a grandmaster. It's very much on GCI. So yes, those in the purple circle that are selling the McMansions can sell half a dozen houses and get grandmaster, and we in the burbs that are slogging away to do 77 sales. Anyway, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So yeah, Carol and I are like, okay.
But you know what? Team, can we give Julie a big virtual round of applause and welcome to today's session?
Thank you.
And thank you so much for giving of your time.
It's my favourite topic. So I am still a bit jet lagged. I do have a little bit of brain fog, but very happy to be here. Manos, you asked me before what the established client numbers are. So Manos and Maria, I met through the Lee Woodward training. So we have been friends and collaborators for many, many, many years before I jumped on board. there's just over 4,000 gold. A lot of my silvers become gold. So that's why my silver numbers don't marry with the gold. So there's 1,079 silvers, meaning they've bought through me. And there's a pool of 235 referrers.
Love
in
it.
there.
That's great.
So
Great.
just over,
Yeah.
yeah, 5,400.
Yeah, sensational numbers, Julie. Very, very good. Awesome. And 70 of the 77 sales that you did, 60%, just over 60%.
Yeah, I'll check that. But yeah, repeat referral business is my biggest lead funnel for sure.
Fantastic. You've really nailed one thing that we've loved watching you, Julie, and you've been in the industry for 20 years, but your client engagement and your community engagement is second to none. This is just a snapshot of Julie's Facebook page team, and I highly recommend that you jump on it. You've got about 5,000 followers there. But what a sensational, just looking at your Facebook feed, you know that you're heavily involved in the community. And that is part of client engagement. Our topic today about client engagement is about not so much harassing people, but how do we stay top of mind so that when they're in real estate mode and they're thinking about making a transaction, whether it's a purchase, whether it's a sale, they're thinking of you. What is it that you need to do? And we've just done a little bit of a snapshot with Julie of what she does in regards to staying engaged with her community and with obviously her established clients, the 5,000.
Meals with males. It's actually meals with mates. I wish it was with males. That would be much more fun. But it's meals with mates.
There you go. Sorry.
It's an outreach community program through Maralinga. That's so funny.
That's a great typo. Fantastic. Okay, so talk to us. It's Julie. You were the first person that I recall having what we call a slush fund when you sold the property, but also noticed when you sent the notes over that you've got a bit of a slush fund when you list the property, and you call it the handyman services. So pre and post sale. Do you want to just share with the team what you do there?
Sure. So make sure you get good fees, guys, because if you've discounted your fee, you won't have any slush fund. So that's my first tip for you. Make sure you get a professional fee so that you can afford to do these sorts of things. I have a handyman service where I offer them one day with a multi-talented handyman. I let them know that if there's more work to be done, they're responsible for the balance. But it's all about making things easier. Going to market's very stressful for people. It's much easier if you can give them a day to get paint touched up, fly screens mended, garden zhushed. It goes a long way to making it easier for them. On the other end of that, if at the final inspection, something or post-settlement, something is not working. Recent example, legally, sellers are only required to hand over a key. And we had a property where you couldn't open any of the windows. There were no keys for the windows. Well, that just doesn't sit well with me. That's not a good way to end a relationship. So the seller's not responsible. Always try and get the seller to be accountable. You know, don't just throw money away. But don't leave a buyer with a sour taste, because it is your buyers that are buying into your core area that people will be asking, what was she like? What were they like to deal with? How did it go? So, you know, fix the things that can be fixed. I had a pool of business. I can't tell you how much business I had as a result of years ago replacing a pool chlorinator. You know, we were pre-settlement, beautiful seller turned into a nightmare, refused to replace the chlorinator. I don't know, cost me $1,100 or something at the time, but I have become their agent for life. I can't tell you what that ripple effect has been. You want to be the generational agent. You don't want to just be that client's agent. You want to be their grandkids' agent. You want to build a career for life. So, you know, it always comes back to how would you feel? If that happened to you, how would you feel? Is it under your control? Some things are not under your control. You've got to let them go. But if you can control it, if you can influence, if you can change it, and as you've always said, Manos, if it's something that can be fixed with money, it's not a problem.
Exactly right. Julie, you were the first person, and we've been in, like, we met you like I think 10 years ago, and I remember
And the rest.
Yeah, and the rest, yeah, absolutely. I remember when you actually implemented that, and it was a light bulb moment. Just like last year when Gary Jones talked about his pre-settlement inspection with the vendors. So these are two identical strategies that can help you win more business and stay engaged with those clients. Just this one strategy, but again, you've got to obviously protect your fees to do this and budget for it, right? And you don't spend it on every single property. It's those 1 in 4, 1 in 3, maybe. So it's a very affordable and long-term strategy.
But Manos, reiterating our conversation that not everybody would have heard for those that sort of joined on time, all of this comes back to two things. Choosing to work with the right people. So if they're not your tribe, if you're not getting a good vibe, let another agent take that business. So be selective about who you work with. But all of these principles and all the money in the world is not going to resuscitate bad performance. So you've still got to deliver the results. They've still got to have an amazing experience, and you've got to deliver an amazing outcome for your sellers, because none of this will band-aid poor performance.
Yeah, 100%. So community involvement competitions, as I said, if you go to Julie's Facebook page, she classes it. How do you have the time for this, Julie?
Well, one, I enjoy it, and two, I have the amazing Kerry Brune in my corner. So yeah, they love competitions. It's a great retention tool for Facebook. It's that one-to-many. I try and support the local businesses when I do it as well. So no, it's just fun. You know me, I like to have fun.
Absolutely.
And I like to give things away.
But yeah, you have the annual girls gala night, and you have about 250 people turn up to that.
Yeah, so that's a really big thing. So mine is probably a little different to what most people would like. I have drag queens and disco and drinks and food, and it's girls only, because I don't know about all of you, but most of my best referrers are actually women. And women don't get to have a lot of fun these days. They're busy mums, they don't get to let their hair down. The beauty of the gala night, one, even if they don't want to come, they feel special because they've been invited. It's become a really big annual event. People want to be on the guest list. You get to meet their besties, so they get to bring somebody new. So you get introduced. I listed one this week since I've been back, and his daughter-in-law bought and sold with me, but she brought her mother-in-law to my last gala. And guess what I listed this week? The mother-in-law's property. So, you know, it's that ripple effect.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it is a big investment, but when you think of the impact it has, it's huge.
Yeah. And look, and if you're in collaboration with a few agents within an office, or
you could do it that way.
You could do it. You could collaborate and bring all clients together. A couple of agents coming together to make it more affordable. So there's means and ways.
The gala night is actually easier for us to run than my movie nights used to be, Manos. I've stopped my movie nights because we haven't had any decent films since COVID. But they were a lot of work. They were a ton of work. Whereas this, it's pretty much managed by the event planner at the venue. The most time-consuming thing, and your beautiful tool made it so much easier. Book me and Scotty, thank you so much. Is managing the RSVPs and the invites and things. But even that's a great touch point. And we have a private Facebook page, so we build up the hype around it. They feel really special.
And this is a new one for me, fortnightly coffee vans, Julie.
Okay.
I saw that for the first time.
Yeah, so that is actually something that I pinched from Carol, from Doris. That is a coffee van that we pay for at the local school on Assembly Day. But to be very frank, so we've done it for 2 years now. We are pulling back on that.
Okay.
Because we found it was a very big investment financially. And they kind of got complacent about us being there, to be honest. So we felt the money could be better spent elsewhere. We will still support their special events with coffee vans. So if they've got, you know, a community day or a sports day or whatever, we're happy to do that. But yeah, when I looked at it, I thought, no, because you've always got to be looking at your return on your investment.
100%. One of the big things that I've always shared with the team, and the research that that I get, is that if you do sponsorship, if you do community support and so forth, if you're not active there, the return on investment is very, very low. You need to be active. The fortnightly coffee vans, were you attending there, or you're attending there as well? Yeah, so
absolutely.
even investment of your time. Interesting.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the thing. It was just, you know, sometimes people don't value what they get for free.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think it was too regular. It was just assumed that I would do it. So yeah, so I'll probably be a little bit more selective, or maybe I'll try a different school.
Yeah,
you know, maybe I'll offer it up to another school in the area.
Yeah. Or take it to once a quarter, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's under review.
Office collection point.
Yeah, so I'm very heavily involved in the community. If there are fundraisers happening, like at the moment, one of the dog refuges is looking for towels and blankets, we're a collection point for that. We're involved with the salvos, so Christmas time, we're a salvos collection point. Whatever is happening out there, because then people get to know who we are, get to pop in. I have the phenomenal Connie Shell and Kerry Brune. So if people pop in, they're always made to feel really special and appreciated for contributing to the community. So it's a nice win-win.
And the meals with mates.
Meals with Mail. So that's through Meralinga, which is a local community support organisation. So once a month on a Friday night, they put on a meal for the community. So people that are lonely or, you know, maybe not doing so well financially, they can come and have some company and a meal. So we sponsor the food for that.
Love it. What a good way, what a great way to give back.
Yeah.
Really.
And one of the things, again, that we did trial last year and we stopped because we didn't get the community support behind it, we had community coffee mornings as well. So once a month, I would go over to the coffee shop and we'd put on the free coffees and things. That didn't work as well. I don't know whether people felt awkward coming to that. We didn't get the take up. But what does work well is the pay it forward coffees. So just going over there, putting a couple of $100 to the cafe, that I've got my little Bitmoji stickers, they put it on my cup, on their cup, and just say, this coffee is on Julie, you know, this is a freebie. So it's unexpected. I ask them to pick out people that look like they could do with a little bit of a lift that day. I just do it ad hoc, and that's really nice too.
Love it. And the last couple of things, branded umbrellas gifted to the sporting clubs.
Oh my God, I love the umbrellas. I love the umbrellas. No ego here at all, but seeing that sea of orange umbrellas everywhere, they were amazing. So, Connie, what did they cost each? Can you remember? We don't want to know. But we had to order a second batch. They had a really, really, really good take up. And of course, we ran a competition behind it as well. So whatever you do, multi-purpose it. So we ran a competition for the selfies with the orange umbrellas. And I do sponsor a lot of the community sporting groups as well. So yeah, it was great seeing the sea of umbrellas out there.
I would have thought, Arthur, that here in Melbourne, that would be a no-brainer, eh? Giving out umbrellas to everyone. They're always
make sure they're good quality. You don't want to give them crap.
Yeah, and they keep them and so forth.
Yeah,
no,
something they keep.
I love that. I love the ideas of obviously gifted to the sporting clubs, but I love the idea of having umbrellas for one of your gifts.
Well, I was doing it when I was doing appraisals too, Manos. So I would take an umbrella.
I love it. That's going all out.
Yeah.
I love this too. The pizza, the pizzas. Talk to us about happy anniversary and welcome to wonderful Woodvale.
Okay, so first year anniversary, again, because of the cumulative numbers, I couldn't do it for every anniversary. But somebody really clever told me that a big percentage of people move within 18 months. And I thought, how can we make sure we get back in the door? So we are doing the happy anniversary, couple of pizzas on us. So they get an SMS and that gets posted to them. And then obviously we have a relationship with the pizza shop. When they sell and buy through us, we do a pizza, and you know, some people take advantage. I've had some where they've ordered 10 family-sized pizzas. They must have been feeding the street. That's rare. People don't. So don't restrict. If you're going to give, don't put ceilings on it.
Yeah.
You know, just give. But of all the things, they just love on the last night in the home or the first night in the new home, being able to open a box and feed the family, feed the people that have helped them move. They seem to remember that more. We also do beautiful gift hampers as well, but they seem to remember the pizzas more than anything else. And it's good for the local business.
Yeah, a number of our team do the pizza ones, and they get the same feedback, Julie. It's the pizza one that they remember.
Yeah.
And I think it's the easiest one to actually implement. And of course, you're building a relationship with and if you've got lots of settlements, I'll be doing a couple of pizza joints. Don't go to the one. Go to a couple of pizza places in your local community and support 2 businesses if you're doing quite a few.
Now the pizza boxes have Julie O on the inside of them too.
No way.
Oh, well, there you go. So you get them branded as well. That's fantastic. So what's the investment? What's the investment, Julie?
Well, in total, what do I spend in total on my marketing?
No, in regards to the pizzas, like, is it $20 a pizza? How much are they charging you?
So I use gourmet pizzas, don't deliver
crap, yeah.
Domino's or something. Sorry, Domino's. Yeah, so on average, I would say it's probably $80 to $140
a week.
Oh, per
client,
per settlement.
Yeah.
But then you've got it both ends as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you've got both ends. Yeah. So again, you've got to give to receive. There's no question, but you want these to be memorable experiences. As you mentioned earlier, how do you make people feel? Julie, out of all the client engagement strategies, and I guess it's difficult when you're doing so many, like yourself, and that's developed over a period of time. You didn't start your business and suddenly you had all these implementations. So I think it's very critical for everyone, important to understand. You don't go in full hock at this. Pick your mark. Pick where your strategy is going to work over the next 12 months. And if you're a newbie, just layer it. Start layering.
Keep it simple though too, Manos. Don't, keep it simple. have it all systemized. Again, I have the most phenomenal crew around me. So, you know, Connie is in charge of the pizzas. Connie does the pizzas. In fact, I think they think Connie pays for the pizzas.
Yeah.
But it's just that extra touch point.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just about reducing their stress. Selling is stressful, buying is stressful. These little things can just
make it big.
Make it a little bit more pleasant.
And I always focus on the rule of love the one you're with. So if I was going to pick any services from any of this menu of engagement points, I would do the handyman services and the pizza. Handyman and pizza, for sure. There's no question. Love the one you're with, your buyers and your sellers.
Well, especially the handyman actually makes our job easier.
Yeah, it does.
Because you've got a house that's presented in a much better fashion. Makes our life a lot easier.
And outside of that, what would you recommend? Because I know I'm looking at the time. We've done really well time-wise,
We have. I've got a few more minutes. We're okay. I think having a client night is super important. Like I started those really early. In fact, my first one was horrendous. It was a horrendous Tom Cruise movie, War of the Worlds. And I had a cinema for 100 and I struggled to fill it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's cumulative. But there's a lot around the community night. It's the invites, it's the having the conversation with people that can't come, that just appreciate having been invited. I think if I only had to do one thing, I would have a budget for a community, a VIP night. And don't encourage your clients to bring somebody so that you've got somebody new that's being exposed to you as well. Yeah, and make them fun.
On that, Julie, on that, just because we're talking about the obviously the client nights, we've got a question on the side here, and I've lost it now, but I think I saw it before. Are you partnering up with? Oh yeah, it's from Jess. Hi Jess. Are you collaborating with any charity for your galas?
No, I don't, Jess. We did think about that. But I really want this to be just a gift to them, not that there's any expectation from them whatsoever. Oh, the other weird thing I do, Manos, and Maria definitely could be able to do this, and I'm sure lots of the girls could do this. I have a clothes lending library. So in my community,
I saw that on your social.
Buy a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
I let people know, come and borrow an outfit. I've got 4 sizes in my wardrobe because she goes up and down like a yo-yo. Come and borrow a handbag. Come and borrow earrings or shoes or whatever you need. So that's really nice too. But no, in answer to your question, Jess, no, we don't. We have thought of it. We considered it. We just want this, you know, no strings attached.
Yeah, you want them to come and enjoy them.
Yeah. No such thing as a free lunch. Well, there is such thing as a free gala night.
Yeah. Beautiful. Love it. I think everything that you do here, Julie, is just obviously a reflection of who you are, what your business is all about. And you know how they say people will not remember what you do for them, but they'll remember how you make them feel. So it's all about that feeling, that transfer of feeling, that and it comes from the heart. You can't fake that stuff.
I think you've got to be authentic, Maria, you know, because you can't. For the first couple of years of my career, I wanted to emulate top performers, but I wasn't being my authentic, genuine self. And life is much easier when you don't have to put a filter on or remember how you were with. Just be yourself. You'll attract the right tribe. Make sure you are grateful and that you work with people that are grateful, because that makes life so much easier. You know. And the other thing I would say to all of the agents, remember that your other clients are your support crew. I also make sure that they feel special, that they feel acknowledged. Like we've got another Wicked theatre night coming up where we all go to that together. little things. So one of the things that they haven't put on here is the little pay it forwards. If I'm at the nail salon, just last week, I came back, first thing I did was go and get my nails sorted, and I saw a past client, and she looked a bit sad. And I usually do this. If I see somebody at the nail salon, I'll just quietly pay for their nails. And she sent me a little message afterwards. She said, I can't believe you did that. You're on my call list. We've actually separated. I'll be selling. Now, you just don't know what those nice little touches, and that's not why you do it. It's not, you know, I've written down reciprocity is not linear. And what I mean by that is you can't give and expect to get. But if you're feeling good, if you're doing good, life is just much more fun.
Yeah,
and
good things happen.
Little pay it forwards, just even complimenting a stranger when you're in the queue or letting somebody cut in front of you. Everything you do matters, guys. Everything you do. How you drive your car, how you smile at somebody. Don't pick up the phone and then start typing without saying to the client, I'd like to just capture some notes about what we're talking about. Is it okay? You'll hear me typing. I had a conversation with somebody the other day and I could hear they were typing, and I felt like, you're not actually listening to me. You're not connecting with me. So be present. It's all those little things. As I said to you, none of this works if you're not doing good work.
Yeah. So true.
Any quick questions before I zip?
Feel free to type them in, guys, or just unmute yourselves if it's
just
quick.
Unmute, just
Yeah,
yell
and
at me because I've only got a
Yeah.
few more minutes. And of course I'm here, you know my email, you know my mobile number.
I've got a quick question. How do I get an invite to that gala night?
Darling, I sent you one last year, but you're always in bloody Greece when I have it.
Oh,
It's the 15th of August this year.
I'll be
It's
back.
already in the diary.
I'll be back.
How were you coming?
I'll be there.
You'll be here.
I think we just booked our WA trip.
I think we just did. 15th of August is my name day too, so it'll be double celebration. But anyway.
There you go.
I think it's, I'll confirm that. It's the Friday anyway.
Beautiful.
It's the 15th. It's already in the diary.
Fantastic. We'll take you up on that.
You don't get to come unless you wear a dress, Manos.
Yes. Only the girls. You can hang out with Frank. But do you know what? I obviously, for everyone that follows you and follows your pages and sees what you do, you're just so authentic, you know, to the point of the other day when you shared what you were doing to declutter, you know, it's just Julie's there. This is what you get. It's no filter, and you're just connecting with your people, and that's just beautiful. So
did you read the comments?
Yeah, I read some of them.
So some of, you know, because that's the other quick thing I would say, guys. The people you like, and only the people you like. And I got this from Paul and Gina.
Yeah.
Facebook friend them because it makes connection and staying present with them much, much easier. And so what Maria is referring to is I have a floor I have way too many clothes and most of them live on the floor. And so I came home and I was all about preparing my mindset, decluttering, and I have two really bad spaces, my wardrobe, and I have my study, which has turned into a shop because I can't buy one of anything. I've got to buy half a dozen of something. So it was like, put a poll out. What do I do? Do I do the shop? Do I do the wardrobe? Or do I just read a book? And then clients who've become friends pop on and go, oh, Julie, I can't believe you're living in a mess like that because you are such a bully when it comes to your home and getting us to declutter and minimalize and everything. But they appreciate the realness. They do. They like to know that you're human.
100%. That was great, Julie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing, Julie. Really appreciate it. I know you got to rush off now, guys. Virtual. Thank you to Julie, please. And
I could listen to you for 2 hours.
Yeah,
I could talk for 2 hours.
The simplicity in your strategies are just so evident, and that's anyone can do this. Anyone can do it. So
all the little steps, although some things have changed, all the little steps were actually captured by Lee in one of our interviews. We should try and
get that,
get that from him and maybe share that, because that's got all the little, you know, it's everything, guys, from that first engagement, from home opens, how you show up in your home opens. It's everything. You know, I have giveaways at my home opens. I wear colourful clothes. You know, somebody said to me, I just come to your home opens to see what you're wearing. Yeah, so jelly beans and colouring packs and music and just have fun, guys. Life's too serious not to have fun.
Absolutely.
All right. Love you all. I'm going to go and list a house.
Be good.
You guys.
Thank you, Julie.
Make sure this is recorded because I want to hear the rest.
Yes, it is. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Subscribed as well. All good.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
Okay, absolutely invaluable session, guys. And I was really
A legend.
wrapped that Julie could share. And please, reach out if you want to have a discussion with Julie. I know everyone's time is precious and valuable, but she is such a giver. You know, she's done listing presentations for team members. She talks about her whole strategy. She's a giver. She's a wealth of information. But I think the most important thing from these training sessions, pick the one or two things that are going to be easy to implement. And my big one, as I mentioned, is making sure that you do your pre-settlement inspection. That is absolute gold, because it will actually save you doing the handyman services on many an occasion as well. And that changeover between seller and buyer, it will run a lot smoother. So if you haven't implemented that, that's an absolute must for 2025. And seriously, have that slush fund. It's going to save you heartache. And you know, when deals go a little bit sour at transaction day, you can save yourself from that. Has anyone actually implemented that from Black Salt? That was done in May 2024 that Gary shared that. Has anyone implemented the pre-settlement? Lou, and how'd you find it?
It's perfect. Kai does all our settlement or pre-settlements and so on. And yeah, it's ideal because what we might find as clean or acceptable, someone else might not be the same and so on. And that might be, we may need to get a cleaner in just to tidy it up and ourselves and just pay for it out of our own pocket. But it was one of the best suggestions we had. So we do it with all our settlements. It's really good, a pre-settlement. So, and we let our vendor know that we'll do a pre-settlement pre-settlement inspection before we get the buyer through. It's a great idea. It really is.
Yeah. It should be mandatory, everyone in their process. Remember, and we're going to obviously talk about it, it's how we make them feel in the delivery of service that's most important. Okay, the drops diary. I thought it was appropriate, being the beginning of a new calendar year, to talk about the drops diary and my collection. I always do it in the first training session. This is part of client engagement team. Show of hands, those people that have been to some of our training sessions that have implemented the drops diary. Has anyone done it? Fantastic, great. Have we done a whole year's collation? Did you collate it for the year? No? Okay, cool. So I've collected ours, as we normally do around our home, Frankston South. And I think it's really important. We've started a new one. Some interesting discoveries from this. The value in this is in its simplicity, team. I've been doing it for over a decade now, and I still do not recall 1 year where the agency, and there's been a change of agencies who's having market share in our area throughout that period of time. It goes ebbs and flows, but all the time it's directed in direct mail, right? And I'm flabbergasted how few people actually do this and do this well, right? So these are the results, right? So where we live, there were 13 agencies, right? 12 agencies that actually had a letterbox drop into our letterbox. If you have no junk mail on your letterbox, can you please remove it? You need to be collecting this stuff, right? And these are the results. So agency number 1, 25 drops, which was 1 every 2 weeks, 1 every fortnight. It was consistent throughout the whole year. 7 sales. So it was a home area of 754 homes. So I kind of just did our house and then just did a circumference of about 750 homes, and then I collated the sales. There were actually 22 sales in the area. So it actually dropped. Normally we're at 4%. So it's normally closer to 30 sales in our area, but there was only 22 last year, which is evident in our marketplace here in Melbourne, that there's a slower turnover. But again, the number 1 agency of drops had market share, 31.8%. That number 1 agency that agency in itself, for those people who know the Frankston South area, was Impact. And they've been the number 1 agent for probably 4 years now in that area. The number 2 agency, this is the first time I've actually seen it, where 13 drops, but the 13 drops came in the last 6 months. And they picked up 2 sales, right? The third agency only dropped 9, but has sold outside of our 754 home area. This agency has dropped 7. They've sold 3 properties in the last 6 months. They've sold a lot of properties outside of our patch, right? So this is a new agency, well, a new agent within an agency that's been in our Frankston South marketplace. And you can see the momentum that they're building up. So their drops came in the last 4 to 5 months. So it's quite interesting to see that. This agency only dropped 6 in the first 4 months, never dropped again. This agency dropped 4, got a listing. I recall this agency had a sale outside of the 754 homes, but did a letterbox drop and then listed a property straight away. It hasn't sold as yet. It was just a recent listing at the end of December. Agency 3 drops, no sales. And all these agents did just the 1 drop, no sales in the 754 homes. There was 1 agency that did no letterbox drops, but had 2 rental properties of theirs that came onto the market in the 754 homes. 5 agencies sold 1 property each out of the 22 sales, and there were 3 unknown sales which didn't have a record of agents selling them. So that's what the stats were. But again, team, it's the number 1 prospecting agency, always has market share, and it's a considerable market share. It's 25, 30, 40, 50%. What we did notice this year, no door knocks, no cold calls, no calendar magnets, no anniversary cards. And I know some people say, oh, they must know you're a real estate agent. And granted, they probably, would look it up, and our name is quite recognizable, I guess. But our neighbours didn't either. So it's quite interesting how little prospecting is actually happening in our street. And our street it's 22 homes in our street. It's a court. And I'm very surprised how the prospecting actually dropped dramatically. This year was the least amount of drops that we actually received for many, many years, right? So I think that's evident too, right? So I just be mindful. So has anyone else got some insights from their drops diary at all? Anyone got insights at all? If they've done it?
Manos, mine was a little more ad hoc than yours. I've got all the drops numbers, but I really only paid attention to the top 3. Mm-hmm. And I haven't collated who's had the most sales, but I have a pretty good understanding based on me having awareness that Impact, which is your number 1, we're also the number 1 in mine. and they were at 16 drops for the year. Mine was second personally. So we've just taken this area on where I live, which is not traditionally where I sell, but it's an area we took on, and we had done 9. So it wasn't quite consistent enough, but we'd done 9 and we were second. And then third were Ray White with only 4. But Ray White have by far the most amount of sales. So they got strong market share would be 40+%, but their prospecting is different. They're not doing drops. They're heavy on cold calls and being in touch in that sense. So yeah, it's Ray White number 1, Impact Art number 2. They're about 3, and we're on par with them. So the second agency is out of area Mount Eliza agent that doesn't really do any drops either, but they're going on market presence.
Yeah. And can I just say, if you said to me, what is the top 3 prospecting strategies in real estate? The number 1 is door knocking. Number 1's door knocking. Number 2 is cold calling. And number 3 is direct mail. Right? So from a cold perspective, then of course, it's your referrals and your past clients really need to be taking up a big chunk of your business as well. But they're the top three prospecting strategies that I've ever known. And we've known that time and time again from our cold starts. And I think the best cold start that who's been documented to the nth degree was the Joel Hood launch, where he used these three prospecting tools: the door knocking, the cold calling, and the letterbox drop, and got him to $1 million in 15 months. So
together with socials, Manos, you've got to put that in there, because obviously you've got to be top of mind in there.
Yeah, definitely got to leverage everything, team. But it is consistency. Consistency and recency trumps inconsistency. So if I was these agencies here, I wouldn't be bothered doing any drops. If you're not going to commit to doing drops, don't do them. I think it's a waste. I personally think it's a waste. If you're not going to do service area drops, what I highly recommend is you absolutely saturate your magic 25s whenever you list and sell a property, and just make that your prospecting direct mail. Does that make sense? There's no right or wrong. I always say to team members, should I be doing service area? Should I be doing this? And say, well, there's no right or wrong. It's what's generating you the leads to get your numbers up for the year. And always, and if you're not going to be committed to the investment and the consistency of letterbox shop, that's fine, but find something that you'll be consistent with, because that's so important. Okay, so moving on. So how consistent and effective was your 2024 prospecting, right? And this session is about client engagement. And I just want everyone, has anyone implemented the 23, 22, 21 sold high impact letters that we discussed at Black Salt and in the other training sessions? Has anyone collated their sales from 23, 22, 21 in their service area to direct mail? If I had Sion on, please do. Please do, team. It's absolutely valuable. I had a training session with one of our agencies a couple of days ago, and we looked at their core area, and the numbers in those core areas, team, are exactly the same in most areas. 85%, was actually 90% of current sellers did not use the agent that they purchased from, and approximately 20% of the current listings in their marketplace were from transactions. The last time that property was sold was in 23, 22, and 21. So it's a big chunk. So I want you to think, if you have a service area that's transacting approximately 200 homes a year, and if it's not, expanded if you wanted to, but if you're saying approximately 20% are coming onto the market in 2025, there's potentially 120 sales. You know, it's a minimum 60 to 120. So you want to be in the door of those hot prospects in the first 30 days of 2025. Okay, so if you are unaware of what you need to do there, our team will be able to help. So at least if you want to drop your email in in the chat box so they can reach out to you just to share. You only do it once, but that strategy is so simple to do. Post out a market report to them. We have a buyer letter or the price drive letter. It's an invaluable exercise. So please do that. And if you haven't set your prospecting schedule in place, please download the workbook from the Black Salt portal and start filling it out. Start filling it out and start getting your processes in place. Okay. So Vicky, you've already done 2 for this year, 6,000 each time. Wow. You just blanket dropped it. Awesome. Okay. Don't fall for the loyalty trap. I thought it was appropriate. We did talk about this at the end of last year, but it is appropriate to talk about it now. Why is my battery running low? Hang on a sec, guys. Because we don't want to lose the...
That's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing. A sec.
Do you want a hand?
That's what's happened. No, all good.
Classic. Do you want me to send George down there?
No, we're all good. I'm pretty sure we're good now. So let me just check. I'm sure we're good. It'll be an early session. All good. Okay. No, should be good. Hang on a sec. Sorry, guys.
George, I think go downstairs, please.
It's all good. It's all good, bro. Okay, that's all good, George. Okay, so don't fall for the loyalty trap. So what I mean by that is property owners are not necessarily your lifelong friends or clients, or want to be your lifelong friends or clients. And the other challenge we have is loyalty expectations equals complacency. When we feel like we do such a great job with someone, we expect them to come back to us. There's, we look at it from the point of view that, I've done a great thing for them, or they promised to name their kids after you and so forth. We get complacent and we may not be doing our job correctly. So forget about the loyalty, right? Just keep working and keep earning their business, because recency trumps loyalty most days of the week. I really do believe this, right? Recency trumps loyalty most days of the week. Have zero expectations, you'll have zero disappointment. Never ever arrive. When you do a great job, don't feel like you're the bee's knees and you're untouchable. Stay in just started mode hungry. Client engagement is all about energy. I can't tell you how many times we've heard it, and I'm sure everyone's heard that a lot of the times we lose listings to agents with less experience, less sales than us, but more importantly, they have more energy than us a lot of the times in the lounge room, right? So be paranoid about engagement. Remember, people have a short memory, and I really mean that. And so we talk about making phone calls and following up with a just a note to say card. And I encourage everyone, when was the last time someone called you and you remembered them, right, when they called you? And when was the last time someone called you and they followed up with a just a note to say card, or something to remind you of that phone call? So engagement is that. So let's not overcomplicate it either. And this is something that one of our team members said, just be nice and call people back, right? So we talk about all these strategies. We talk about all these pizza nights, and we talk about gala nights and movie nights and all that. But the reality is everyone will remember you, just be nice and call people back. And I love Greenview, and they're doing exceptionally well. They don't They don't complicate it. They don't go overboard. They're just nice and they call people back, and you see their business go from strength to strength year on year. It's a compounding effect. Okay. So data equals GCI. So this is the important part when we start talking about staying engaged and why we need to be engaged with our data, right? But we need to have the right context when we talk about data, because data is not data. It's actually real people. So I always encourage everyone, again, it's one of my favorite sayings, make the decision to be in real estate for the rest of your life. Because once you make that decision, suddenly your processes change. How you respect your data changes. How you engage with your clients changes. So it's a mindset. Engagement is more of a mindset than it is a process. And I think it was evident with Julie Ormston's a presentation. It's her mindset. So what is it that we need to do? Well, first of all, let's look at the value of your database, right? So I want everyone to really think about the number of contacts in their database. Now, a contact is someone, if you were to pick up the phone and you called them, they know who you are. If you have a whole bunch of contacts in your database, if you called them and they have to think about who you are, I wouldn't consider that a strong contact in your database. I'm not saying to remove it, but I think you need to really categorize those ones that you're actually connecting with and those ones that are going to remember who you are. So has anyone done this exercise to see the value of their database? It's really worthwhile. Some people really struggle to work out, okay, how do I categorize and we'll talk about categorizing your clients a little bit later, but as Julie said, she puts clients in gold, silver, and bronze. Gold are the people that have actually used you and actually paid you. Silver are those buyers that have bought off you but haven't engaged you directly, but they have bought from you, and eventually you hopefully move them into gold. And then bronze are people that you've appraised, people that you've interacted with. You have their details, they're buyers that have come through your database, but they haven't bought from you, and of course they haven't sold through you. Okay, so they're the three categories of contacts in your database. Keep it that simple. Now, the formula is what we know is approximately 10% of contacts are likely to sell within a 12-month period. When someone's in your database, they're in your database because they've been in real estate mode. They've had to have come through an open for inspection. They've called you out for an appraisal. They've used you in the past. You've been referred to them from past clients. They're not in there because you've just taken them out of a cold database. Does that make sense? So when people are in a real estate agent's database, they're more likely to be moving than someone who is just a general person on the street. Okay? They've come to a real estate agent for a purpose, right? So that's why service area, as we noticed in my service area statistics, out of 750 homes, 750 people are owners, 3% moved. If that was 750 people that were in my database that came through transactions, that percentage would be a lot higher. It may not hit 10%, but definitely 5, 6, 7% for sure. So the appraisal rate. So this is what we know, that if you had 900 contacts in your database of people that obviously have a home to sell, right? And they know you if you picked up the phone, we know approximately 10% will come to market, which means 900 times 10%, 90. We know that if you had a great engagement strategy, you're likely to appraise 80% of those 90 coming to market. You're not going to appraise all of them, as we know. So there's approximately 72. Likely listings, your success rate will be about 80%. So 72 times 80, 58 listings or sales, potential sales can come off 900 contacts. 58 times 15,000, if you have an average fee of 15, there's a potential of 870,000 GCI sitting in your database. And I encourage everyone to do this exercise. I encourage everyone after this session is obviously look at your engagement strategy, but I would definitely be looking at your data, trying to ascertain how many of these people really know you, and then reverse engineering the potential of those coming to market. Now, even if you get it wrong by 50%, even if we get it wrong, 870, say round it up to 900, there's still 450,000 in GCI. So I want everyone to think about the importance of knowing this number, because then you can reverse engineer the investment you make into the data and the connection and the touch points and the value that we have in those. Okay, so really, really important to understand that. And of course, the purpose of nurturing contacts and past people that we interact with for the long term. Okay, so the essential details. The essential details from our client engagement strategy is finding out just a couple of things, right? As we said earlier on, the quote that Julie mentioned, but this is another form of the quote. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So that should be a quote to understand we need to find out 3 core elements about everyone that we have on our database, right? Is their motivation, their timing, and their destination. And of course, understanding their needs based on these 3 core elements. So we need to understand like motivation. Why would they want to be moving? And we're talking about sellers, of course. What time they're looking at moving, what period of time. Is it 3 months, 6 months? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years? And of course, their destination. Are they upsizing? Are they downsizing? Are they moving to retirement village? Whatever it is, understanding that. And they're the core elements that we need to obviously document, because when we're dealing with lots and lots of people, it's impossible to, of course, remember everyone's 3 core elements: motivation, timing, and a destination. It is, you know, real estate 101, but it's important to have an understanding of it. Is there anything else we need to know about a client? Anyone else ask any other particular questions or framing around these things? Does everyone do it off memory? Go for it, Michael.
Outside of like just the 3 things you mentioned, it's usually just trying to find out what's important to them. So simply asking that. I've got a lot of things that we can cover off today, but it's really important that I'm not just giving you information that's relevant to me. I want to know what's really important to you. So what would you like us to focus on? What are you after out of today's meeting?
Yeah, 100%. When you put them into your database, though, say it's a cold appraisal, they're not really thinking about moving until 3 to 6 months' time. What's your follow-up strategy for that, Michael? Like, it's not a hot one.
Sorry, I muted myself. When we from the appraisal, we then write a handwritten card thanking them for having me in the home. I don't write that; my assistant Ash does, and that gets sent off within a couple of days after the appointment. If they're selling within the next 3 months, they are put on a board behind me. I'll see if I can anti-blur my background. So I have a hot list behind me of properties that are coming to market in the next 3 months. It should be anyway. And then my listings and pending settlements and what are on that side. And that's something that I focus on. I run a hot list. And then beyond that, they are just put into our database for our New Year letter, our anniversary cards, things like that. But I'm not active enough in terms of keeping in touch with them beyond them being on my hot list. So there's room for improvement.
Yeah, 100%. And Michael, 80% of agents I speak to do not have a solid client engagement roadmap. And I think sometimes we overcomplicate it. And I think that's why. And we think we need to be, you know, inverted commas, as I mentioned earlier. And I'm really hoping when I share a client engagement roadmap, people understand it's actually not that complex. It's actually really simple. And the simpler it is, the more effective it will be for the client as much as it is for yourself. So that's the most important thing, because as I said, you know, we've been doing this for a very long time, speak to a lot of agents. There is no one that's calling up clients, guys, every single month, every single quarter. It's not happening, right? And I do believe that yes, for the hot ones or the imminent ones, absolutely. That's a different strategy. If they're hot, it's got to be in your the hustle playbook, and you're following them up really regularly. That should be a daily activity to say, who am I calling to move them to come to market? But those softer ones and those ones that we want to keep engaged when they come to market in a year's time, 2 years' time, 3 years' time. Remember, if we're sending letters to people that bought properties in 23, 22, and 21, right? Because we know 20% of those are coming to market in 25. Yeah? Everyone agree? So that means if you sold 20 homes a year in 22, 23, and 21, that's 60 homes that you would have sold, plus the buyers that bought it, right? And obviously the sellers who went on to sell. There's 120 contacts there. We know as a fact that 20% of those are coming onto the market this year. So out of the 120, and that's only selling 20 homes a year, let alone all the other buyers you would have met and so forth. These are actual transactions. Now, I understand there's probably a small to large percentage of people you won't follow up. They're not going to be your clients for life, as we might say. But still, out of 100, let's say it's reduced to 100, 20 of those are coming to market this year. So when you look at the numbers that way, the compounding effect year after year after year really works. So again, understanding that and documenting it. And I won't go into the detail of what a client card field. All this information, team, is in the workbook. So I'm really hoping everyone from the Black Salt was able to go through page by page, because from your goals to the fundamentals, absolute basics, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that's impossible to cover off on unless we had a whole week workshop. But just go through it, you'll find some invaluable stuff. But again, clients' needs are really simple. If they're current clients actively in the buying or selling process, past clients completed transactions with you in the past, cold appraisals, contacts who have requested a property valuation but aren't ready to sell immediately. They're different contact points that you need, leads and prospects, potential clients who have shown interest but haven't yet engaged. And we have those from buyers that have come through properties, referrers, contacts who may not need your services directly but often refer clients to you. And there's a whole mix. And I think a lot of people are challenged as to how to keep them categorized and when should I be communicating to these people. And this is my suggestion. My suggestion is just build the client engagement roadmap as your primary contact piece for every single person that you come into contact with. Now, a person you come into contact with is a potential seller with a home to sell, okay, or a person they can refer. So we'll start with the property anniversary, which I think is the hero out of every engagement strategy. Now, I'm not sure how many people are on this Zoom session, but show of hands, right? Or put it in in the chat box if you've absolutely nailed the property anniversary strategy. Like, that is a non-negotiable with all your past sellers, all your past buyers, and anyone you've done an appraisal for. Who has absolutely nailed it 100%? Vicky, fantastic. And because I'd love to ask you too, Vicky, what are you finding by nailing it?
Dave writes about 50 anniversary cards a month that get posted out with the scratchy card. We've had a bit of a mixed response, obviously, because we're new in that particular suburb. We've had some people be quite abusive about no junk mail, even though they're sent by Aussie Post. So just let those ones slide. We don't buy into that stuff. And then we do text messages and emails. I'm actually looking at some email scheduling platforms, so it's all more automated for this year rather than me manually doing it for everyone.
Yeah. And look, you're talking a lot about cold data, Vicky. So the cold data anniversary strategy is just as appropriate as it is for the established clients. There's no question about that. But once you start getting established clients that actually know you, right, know of you, that's where the magic really, really happens, because you're loving the one you're with, right? So absolutely do the anniversary strategy with clients you haven't met before, but you will get a better response as you grow your client list.
I've also done it with my buyers from last year, even though I was with a different agency. I haven't done it with the vendors because obviously the vendors belong to them because they're investors, given that they were a brokerage firm. But I've reached out to the buyers, and we've even managed to secure some Google reviews from those buyers from last year by sending them anniversary cards and text messages and emails.
Yeah, and that's all we need to do. Just that one simple strategy. The property anniversary is the hero, and every property has a property anniversary. And so it starts with the phone call, the voicemail, if we don't connect with them, handwritten card. Some people are doing the dollar scratchy. That's why I've put that there. I'm not saying it's necessary, but a dollar scratchy always is a little bit more memorable. And of course, we obviously recent sales is the strategy. Like we talk about some recent sales when we call these obviously past clients. Now we start with what time do we call these these appraisals? And I shared this with the team. When we first got into real estate, I had the fortunate time to actually spend some time with James Tossovan. And James Tossovan took us through a whole call session that he was making to real vendors, real buyers, real clients. And one of the things that really struck out with me is that he was really hoping to catch everyone's voicemail instead of speaking to them directly. It was one of those big things. He goes, I'd rather leave a voicemail so that I know that they're going to call me back and I can actually get through more calls. And that was a really light bulb moment for myself, because I'm thinking, oh shit, we should be talking to these people. But really, most people don't want to talk to us, but they want to know that we're active. Remember, I don't call these strategy clients for life, because I don't believe that that's the strategy. The strategy is client engagement. So when they're ready to list their property, they come to us and we're memorable. So that voicemail was, for me, a real light bulb moment, a sliding door moment. And of course, you can leave the voicemail. Obviously, when you speak to someone directly, you obviously have your notes there, you reference their situation, and of course, congratulate them on their anniversary and how well they've done in the property market and or what's happening in the property market that's relevant to them. Voicemails, very, very similar. Congratulations, John and Mary. This month marks your 3-year property anniversary. Congratulations. I hope you're loving the property as much as you did when you first bought it. If I can help in any way, please reach out. Some great sales in the area recently. Higher sale price, 1.2 million, and the lower sale price was 900. You've done exceptionally well. Your property is probably sitting at that top range as well. Whatever it is that's relevant, right? Do provide info, market update, recent sales, and estimated sale price. You are an expert. And I was talking to an agent, and I haven't mentioned this before because I thought it was kind of, obvious. But they said, what do I tell them? And I've gone, well, just tell them what's happened recently in the marketplace. Like, just tell them if there's been a recent sale, ring portray your expertise in sales and what you're doing. They need to know that you've been active, and it's really, really important. Then I've also put this comment in here. Who should make the calls? This is a big one, because we've just asked a whole bunch of people, and there's been some agents in the field, well over a decade of experience, and they haven't nailed this anniversary strategy. And a lot of the time is because we all get busy, right? So I feel like the second best person to be calling these people is someone from your team. You can even outsource it if you wish, but someone should be making these anniversary calls on behalf of you. If you're a very busy agent, or the process is slipping and you can't commit to it, outsource it. Outsource it to someone. Their script is really, really simple, and it says, "Hi, Elise." So if I was calling on behalf of I don't know, say Arthur, and I'm calling Elise, I'll be saying, "Hi, Elise, calling on behalf of Arthur. Just want to congratulate you on your 2-year property anniversary. I hope you and Michael are loving the property as much as you did when you first bought it. If we can be of any help, let us know, leave a voicemail, or if you connect, you go into a conversation. How are you finding it?" And then, of course, that person should be able to say, "Arthur's been really busy. He's selling lots of property. The market's really strong." Just something really brief, right? So this strategy, is anyone using someone else to call their anniversaries, their clients? I highly recommend it. I really do. And then that way it gets done. Of course, there'll be some clients that you want to pick, that you want to nurture yourself. But again, this is all about putting some processes in place to be automatic for you. So I highly recommend you do that. And of course, the magic happens not with a phone call. The magic happens with a handwritten card. This 2x pluses the value of the initial call. If we're going to make the effort of making this strategy work for us, do the effort of doing the handwritten card, right? I strongly suggest that. It's like if you're going to do letterbox drops, make sure you do them consistently. If you're not going to do it, you're probably better off not doing it, and you won't get the return on it. So it really amplifies that initial effort. And of course, at the same time, this is something that we take off George, who's sitting opposite us. Write out the Christmas card. Like if you're doing 50 anniversary cards and calls on a monthly basis, it's going to be pretty hard to write out 600 at the end of the year, yeah? And most people don't. I can almost guarantee you probably 80 to 90% of agents do not send out Christmas cards. I'm not saying they're absolutely relevant, but hey, if you put a strategy in place, I think it's worthwhile. And of course, if you're writing out the Christmas card on the spot, you can obviously, you're going to be aware of what's happening with them in the marketplace, and if there's been any changes or circumstances to them. So I highly recommend that you do that. So is anyone doing the Christmas card at the same time outside of George? Just to make it simple? Okay. So generic no owner details card to service area. Strongly suggest you do that, just like Vicky was saying. I would do it if you don't have their names and so forth. It's okay. Dear homeowner, it's, you know, our records indicate this is your 3-year property anniversary. Congratulations. If you have any plans on real estate in the next 12 months or beyond, love to help. Something very, very simple. Again, a lot of people are using this strategy, and it's quite, don't be surprised, because it happens to just about everyone that does this, that a vendor will actually call and say, because I know it's happened to George, he goes, "Hey, George, it's time for us to sell. Come on over." And he's doing an appraisal. He hasn't sold them the property, but that vendor thinks that George has sold them the property because they've been receiving the anniversary cards. He tells them the truth at the listing presentation. Goes, "Actually, you didn't buy it off me. I've just been sending you anniversary cards." But vendors think they can't remember who they bought off, and that's a telltale sign as well. Okay, moving on. So that's strategy 1. Then the second part of the client engagement strategy is the end of financial year, end of calendar year SMS market report. Now, lots of people say, do we do this quarterly? Do we do it half yearly? I like half yearly because I think it's going to get done. Right? That's just my reasoning. Because when you put all this in place, there's a lot of contacts with each client. So, and I like this to be done as an SMS because it's going to be simple. Now, who's using Realtor? They're not a sponsor of ours, but that's okay. But who's using Realtor? It is invaluable. Realtor, and you know that Realtor, when they open up the app, you can see when they view the report and so forth, That price update has been a real game changer for lots of people. A lot of our team, because we've got the property statistics on the website, are doing short links to the suburb profile, which is fantastic too. That's a nice, simple one. You don't know if they've actually opened it, but again, it gives some information to the client, and it's an SMS. I recommend an SMS. I think mail, the direct mail to me should be the property anniversary and the end of year Christmas card and calendar magnet. That's my personal opinion. So use tech apps and obviously website blogs for information. Who's doing that? Well, I know there's a whole bunch of people using the Realtor app, so by all means do that. Okay, then of course the end of year calendar magnet, season greeting card. Now, I think times are changing. The relevance of the calendar magnet is changing, but again, I do believe Arthur, you mentioned it today about the calendar magnet, and it was uncanny your timing today, because I'm sitting on the fence on the relevance of it. Who's doing their calendar magnet still? Who can share if do they get great feedback from clients? Who's getting great feedback from clients? Or yes, no?
Manos, while I was in Perth, I had a very old colleague from way back when send me a photo of mum's calendars on her uncle's fridge, and it was every single possible year. She just kept adding them. So I think, like, yes, they might be a little bit outdated, but people still put them on their fridge as soon as they get them.
Yeah.
So your face is still all over the thing that they open every single day.
Yeah. And I totally agree with that. And look, I'm sitting on the fence, but the great one too, as Michael just put in the chat box, is the conversion chart. Now,
and I think, Manos, if you're going to do it, just from my experience as obviously someone that doesn't like a lot of mess on the fridge, but I do put it on the side sometimes, use the full magnet, because it holds on to stuff. If you just do like a little magnet with a thing, people are going to throw it out. So you might as well spend more money and do that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Again, but I do believe something at the end of the year in the mailbox is a great touch point, because everyone's looking forward to receiving stuff in the mail. So continue to do that. That's my personal opinion on it. Look, as they happen, just listed, just sold, grab a buyer match, SMS and property brochures. That's a no-brainer. If we're not SMSing or contacting people with immediate activity around their property, someone else will be. So make sure that you're on top of that. Ask for a friend request on Facebook when listing purchasing from you. This is invaluable. Julie mentioned our team, Paul and Gina at P&G Real Estate in Narre. I'm not sure if they're on or any of the team is on. They do this so well, or they have been doing it really well, that their client engagement strategy is, we don't have, well, I mean, inverted commas, we don't have time to do a proper engagement strategy, but what they're finding is that subtle approach through Facebook. They're getting more people commenting on their Facebook page on their personal activity, as in past sellers and buyers are, because they're engaged that way. And we've got to be moving with the time. So if you're going to be using social media, I strongly encourage you in your listings and sales process, invite your sellers, invite your purchasers to share the listing on Facebook, get you to be friends, and slowly build up an audience there. Remember, you're also influencing their friends, and you're actually helping them sell their property if you're putting it through socials. And of course, one of my favorite is the set and forget, is the email campaign, whether it's weekly, fortnightly, it's automated. Again, not an industry partner, but Active Pipe is probably one of the best out there in the marketplace. I don't really care which system you use, but just use a good one, and set and forget, because that is your digital letterbox drop. And I highly encourage you do that. Team, last slide for the session. Any questions on that? Any before I go to the last slide? Any questions on this engagement strategy? Is anyone doing anything different, or want to ask questions on this? All good? Does anyone wish they had done this from their very first day in real estate? Yes. But now it's simple, team. Like, I want you to think about the property anniversary. Every property has an anniversary. That's the time that they was purchased by the current owners. Use that as your core strategy to stay engaged with everyone that you meet, right? Everyone that you meet that has a potential property to sell can be a future client, right? So this is the big one too, right? And I want to leave you on these points. When we make our interactions memorable, that is meaningful touch points and conversations, confidence, knowledge, and caring. When we make our interactions move people, how do we make them feel? When our brand is omnipresent, when they continually see us as active agents, and what we mean by omnipresent. So memorable, interactions memorable, how are we treating them? Are we nice? Are we calling them back? Are we having great conversations with confidence, knowledge, and caring? How do we make them feel, right? When we do the pizzas on their, when they settle. How do we make them feel about the negotiation process? How do we make them feel about how we've presented their property, the whole process? How is our interaction with our team? How do we make them feel or we remain omnipresent with our continual branding in the marketplace, with social media, with having properties on Premier All, on realestate.com, so that they see you as an active agent, right? It's so important. The more we do of these three things, the less structure, discipline your engagement process needs to be. And
Manos, can I make a quick point on the first one?
Please.
It's just something that popped into my head. People shouldn't be deterred. We shouldn't be deterred. Like, if we have a swing with the bat and we miss the ball the first time, let's go again. Just a quick point. When I was working with Cameron McCulloch and he was working as an assistant with me, Cameron was making some cold calls. We got a very bad reaction from a particular client in Frankston South. She was pretty aggravated that we made the call. So I asked Cameron to write a card and to take it straight out to her home. And it was a card and a little box of chocolates. He goes, "What do I write?" And I hadn't really done one of these before, but the first thing that came into my head was, we apologize for our interaction earlier this morning. It's not our intention to add to your day. It's our intention to make your life easier. And Cameron just drove around and left that, at the front door, rang the doorbell and left. She rang us back a couple of hours later, probably when she, calmed down a little. And she said, "Look, my interaction with you guys was a little bit over the top today. And when can we make a time for you to come out and have a look?" So we turned it around. So the first swing, we missed the ball, but we gave it another shot. Now, it wasn't another shot with the intention of trying to get back in. So it came from a good space.
Yeah, it's just doing the right thing. Yeah. Just doing the right thing and being nice, as we mentioned before.
Yeah.
I think this is really important because when we look at these three aspects of a client engagement strategy, right? If we don't nail these three, right? If we don't nail these three, you can have the best client engagement strategy on the planet, but it's not going to work, right? So I always say we win our next listing at delivery of service. I've done a typo there. Win your next listing at delivery of service. Just remember that. Just because we work so hard, as we know, to prospect, build relationships, be the agent of choice. We go in and we pitch and we're up against competition and then we win the business, right? And then we go through the whole process of getting the property sold and getting it done. And most agents, unfortunately, many agents, I must say, have that feeling that, oh, I've sold it like an auction, we sell it, it's all done. They're not going to sell again. The buyers aren't going to sell again for another 3, 4, 5, 10 years, whatever. And the sellers are moving, right? They're not going to sell again all that soon. And, you know, a lot of agents have that catch and kill mentality, the now mentality. Where's my now vendors? But they're not thinking long term, that the long term, the more you do these things, the more now sellers you're going to get, and easier sellers. They're going to be attracted to you, coming to you. So win your next listing at delivery of service. That's what client engagement is all about. Okay, we've I hope people have found this session. Any questions, guys, as we wrap it up? I'll just talk about the next sessions that are coming up. But anyone like to share at all? I'll just go through this and then I'll stop the presentation and we can just go full screen. Just remember, this was the first session for 2025. Our next session is always the first Thursday of the month, and it's February the 6th. I say 11:30 to 1:30, but the sessions are probably going to be running about 90 minutes, not 120. We've also got our first leadership and transformation session, growing your business in a disruptive landscape. And that's always the last Thursday of the month, or one of the last Thursdays of the month. And that's in February. The next one's in May and then September. So please book it in your diaries for that. On that note, I just want to say this. What we achieve in 2025 will have nothing to do with what happens with interest rates or who wins the election. Thought I'll repeat what I said on video yesterday. It'll have everything to do with what we do today. So again, thank you for attending. I'll just stop sharing and we'll go over to Q&A. And if anyone else wants to share any stories before we wrap it up, we've got a few more minutes. So anyone want to share, even if it's not about this topic, any topic? If anyone's got any challenges, anyone's got dialogue.
I've been using anniversary cards for a long time, for many years, and I usually do them like anniversary card with a scratchy, and the amount of people that call back, like with a good news story, hey Steve, I've won $2. And the thing is, I can't wait for somebody to call me back to tell me they've won the $10,000, but nobody has yet. But it's always been really, really, really well received, even from people that I've had hardly any engagement with. So cold anniversaries, as well as, you know, people that have bought and sold. So it's, yeah, I've got some definite improvements, but yeah, it's really good to narrow that down again.
So Steve, do you do the phone call, then the anniversary card, or is it just a straight anniversary card?
Phone call. Always try a phone call first, and then anniversary card. My lovely wife writes all my anniversary cards. Yeah, love it.
And how many of those would you be doing on a monthly basis, do you think?
Probably about 40.
Okay, good, solid number.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So if you think about it, there's 500 or so people that you're going to connect with over a year. And we know as an absolute, even if you look at it from a service area, BDA area, 5% is going to come to market, 25 are going to be coming to market in the following year. That's what the statistics are. So have you had any stories where someone said, hey, I've been getting your anniversary cards for some time, and call out to list the property?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I've been not magnets with a calendar or anything, but just magnets like business card size. So I've been putting them in as well. And yeah, it's pretty awesome when you go there and they're stuck on the fridge.
Yeah, love it. Fantastic. Anyone else, team? All good?
All silent, Manos.
I know, all silent. Has everyone got their prospecting strategy in place? Have they taken it off the weight off their shoulders? Say, yep, this is what I'm going to do. Have you set up your Magic 25s? Have you said, okay, I'm going to do just listeds, home open invites. I'm going to be doing the just solds or the undercon, and we have a buy letter. Pick your Magic 25, set it in concrete. If you're working with a team, make sure your team knows it. I had a fantastic business planning session with, as I mentioned, with Scion Realty the other day, and they pulled the timeline, the timeline apart. Remember what I always say, in your workbook team, have a look at the campaign timeline from the time a lead comes in, and then you appraise a property, and you list the property, and you take it to market, and then you settle the property. They totally pulled it apart. I absolutely loved it, because this is what I recommend everyone. They pulled it apart and they put it back together. They put it over 3 or 4 A4 sheets. They laminated it, and they've got all their particular processes documented, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
Of what they do, little stars about, you know, asking for Google reviews and sharing it on Facebook. It was fantastic. It was really, really good to see. And it obviously takes some time to do, but once you do it, you won't be doing it again. You'll just be tweaking it. So it's that first little bit of grind that we need to do to put our processes in place. Who's gone through the workbook? Who's actually gone through every page of the workbook?
I have.
Fantastic.
Good on you, Steve.
Anything, Steve, from there that you know, from the absolute basics? I noticed your voicemail was a ripper when I called you the other day.
Yeah, that was the first thing when I came back from Black Salt. That was the first thing that got changed.
I loved it.
Yeah. I'm still getting through it, Manos. Like with the launch, it's been a big January so far already.
Yeah.
So yeah, still.
And congratulations too. Yesterday you launched the brand. Looks amazing.
Thank you.
It looks fantastic, Steve.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. Very pleased.
And for those people that are joining us for the first time at Black Salt, as I said, reach out to George. You've got his email so you can download these workbooks. They're absolutely invaluable. And again, I always say you'll do it once and then it's just automatic. It's just part of your process. Lots of moving parts in real estate. We just got to spend a little bit of time initially to get that structure in place. Any last questions, guys? Lisa, I'll get George to reach out to you for that the workbooks. So George, if you can reach out to Lisa and get her access to the Black Salt members page, and away we go. I think we'll call it a wrap, eh?
Well on time today, mate. Well done.
Absolutely. Again, team, thank you so much for attending. I really, really do appreciate it. As I always said, I value your time whenever anyone comes. I value your time, and I hope you take something away from the session that can help you in your business and make your business just that little bit easier. And to drive it like we drive a car, we get into the seat and it becomes automatic, and we take that really heavy load, what should I be doing next, away from us. But team, Elise, thank you so much for helping out. George, thank you so much for being the IT person. Maria and Arthur, always my wingmen whenever we do these sessions. And to the usual suspects that have joined us today.
And a huge thank you to Julie Ormston. I know she's now. Oh my God, she's a phenomenal agent, leader, business owner. I love everything that she does, and we're really blessed because anytime we ask her to do anything, it doesn't matter how busy she is, she'll put her hand up to do it. And I know you've offered everyone to get in touch if they needed anything from Julie, but I'm thinking instead of her being inundated with all these different people trying to reach out, if anyone wants another session on something specific, I could possibly organise one with Julie. Elisa's got her email up on the chat, so feel free to hit Elise with any requests like that, and then we can organise a separate session rather than everyone going.
Yeah, we can add half a dozen.
But yeah, huge thank you to her. She's amazing, and I know she'll be listening to this because She's a training junkie. Another thing, guys, Julie writes phenomenal numbers. She's been in the industry for a very long time, like us, but she does not miss a training. And if she does, she'll jump on and she'll listen to the recording. So you can never stop learning. You can never stop, remembering or finding new ideas or remembering what you used to do and you don't do it anymore. There's always triggers coming up in these sessions, and yeah, it's good. Good session, Manos.
Done, thank you. And again, Thursday, the 6th of February, the signature negotiation process. We'll have a few people from props there as well to help us go through that technology. One of our industry partners. Really excited for that. We'll have an auction negotiation, obviously, process, and obviously a private negotiation process for that. So looking forward to having a few guest speakers in the next session. So again, thank you so much, team. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll obviously connect. Reach out if anyone needs anything at any time. Thank you, guys. Be good. Enjoy.
Everyone.